Hey, ridiculous faithers, this your girl PM. Happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday to you. I'm in the key of Z. All right. So, listen, I'm not going to be on long, but I have to fulfill my commitment, and so I am on my way back home. This is the saddest part of having a house in the Bahamas is leaving. When those shutters go down and clink, 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 and you got to lock up the house and you can't see the beach anymore. And then you like back to life, back to reality, to the cold. Like, it's just like, why? And the only thing I miss is the internet. No, I miss my grandbabies too. Oh, Jesus. But I see y'all regularly. So, like, yeah. I'm excited about my launch, Her Church Philly launch tomorrow. So I'm so excited about that. Y'all pray for me. I made sure I got it in before the end of the year because that's what I said, and staying true to my call. I'm excited about my life and favor and all of that good stuff. And so, yeah. Hey everybody, good morning. I can't do a bunch of shout outs today, but I love y'all so much. Good morning, everyone. I want to just talk about being entitled to more. I thought about this whole journey and I was just tickled. Okay. My spiritual mom came to visit me on yesterday in my house. And you have to understand, they taught us how to walk by faith. They taught us that we deserved another level of lifestyle. So for them to see, for her to see as a spiritual mom that we took these principles and we made some things happen was just phenomenal. It was just phenomenal. And then sisters in the faith, Dr. Dee Dee Freeman and Dr. Renee Mills. It's just like, okay, Kingdom Royalty came through my house yesterday. And it's okay to give people props and stuff like that. I was like a kid. They was like, we 5 minutes away. I'm looking at the door like, and so it was just good. And it's good for people to be happy for other people. But this is the message that I taught actually at my spiritual mom's conference, maybe 15 years ago. And it's that I'm entitled to more. That when actually that is not the lesson I taught. That's the book that I wrote when I went there. But anyway, but again, when you're taught that you're entitled to more, listen to what you have to do. You have to exposure creates expansion, right? So you get educated on more. You start expecting more, and then you start experiencing more. So let's talk about this entitlement. And I'm not talking about in a brat type of way like your kids be acting, but just the fact that Jesus died that we may have the abundant life. And that's what he said. And when people try to talk about the prosperity gospel, I don't preach a prosperity gospel. I preach a gospel that contains prosperity, healing, deliverance, and all of that. But people don't have understanding. Now, was it taught wrong by some people? Probably. But a lot of stuff is. And I don't follow that either. I do the word of God. And so to experience this type of life, what made me think a girl growing up from Philly, what made me think the audacity to believe you could have a nice house in the States, a nice house in the Bahamas, and anywhere else I want to go. What made you believe that you could live like this and you didn't have to work a traditional job and you could be a millionaire? Like, what made you, what gave you the thought, the inkling? Well, I'm going to tell you, exposure. And people being around people like that and hearing the stories of how they started out just as flat broke. Okay, none of us were silver spoons. None of us were, trust fund babies, that people had bad credit and all of that. To hear the steps. That's why when you come into the company of people of influence and affluence, you don't want them to just do things for you. You want to just be in a room so that you can absorb the information that got them where they were. What's that adage? You give them a fish, they'll eat for the day. I don't know, but you get it, something like that. And you teach them how to fish, they'll eat for a lifetime. So I just want to hear the stories of faith. It's so funny. My husband and I met a couple here, and they were sons and daughters of Bishop Miles Monroe and Dr. Miles Monroe. And so, we just want to start hanging out with y'all just to hear the testimonies of faith. They were up close and personal, just the testimonies of faith. It's something about it. Faith increases you and expands you. It helps you get to the next level. If you want to be expanded in your life, start going places you don't think you deserve. Start going to restaurants. I tell people all the time, you can start going to the Ritz-Carlton. They have like a nice area. You might not be able to stay there right now, but you can go during the day and they got the flatbread and stuff. You spend about $40, but just to be in the atmosphere, just to be enlarged. We can pray enlarge my territory, but do what you need to do to be enlarged. What are you going to do? What processes are you going to do? Decide this year you're going to go to some fancier place. Well, I'm a plain person, and okay, then stay where you are, because it's like a carp, a fish, like a goldfish, right? If they're put in a big pond, they're going to grow way beyond they would in a small tank. And I'm just trying to get you to be exposed to more. To even know people that have private aircrafts and things like that. Like, I never imagined that. I used to see it on, what is it called? MTV Cribs, but I didn't know that as a believer, I could dream that big, that I could have some things that maybe that I've never dreamed of. We were sitting at, one of our friends' house in the Bahamas. And I'm saying, did you ever think we would live? I mean, you would live like, I know I didn't, but did you ever? He's like, not in a million years. Not in a million years. We didn't see this. We didn't see this growing up. Your auntie had a townhouse. You be like, she rich. You know what I mean? Especially like me, if you grew up in an apartment, but to have like multiple homes and all of that kind of stuff. I am just honored that God chose me to show me the things that, that I got to see. So the first thing is you got to be exposed to more. You got to be exposed to more. Do something different. I used to say all the time, I don't like sushi. Never tried it. The idea of it was like, oh no, I'm not about to eat. And so one day I just wanted to be, when I was going on this bougie phase, I just wanted to upgrade. I went tea, and I just wanted to start being grown. That's how I felt like. And the grown people that were affluent, they would go get sushi. This is before it was super popular. For real. My husband, when we were dating, he would go to a Chinese market. I'd be in the car, he'd go and get sushi. Like, it was before it was like this craze of going to the sushi restaurants. And I'm like, you like that? And he would be tearing it up. He'd be like, try it. I'm like, I'm not eating that. Don't touch me. Like, And so now he'd be like, babe, sushi not dinner. Like he'll, I would get sushi now just because I just love sushi. And I just kept trying it. Brussels sprouts the same way. I don't want, they stink. I don't want that. Now I'd be like, do you have Brussels? Try something different. Try something new. Your taste buds change. Your interests change. Your likes. I'm preaching already. And I know y'all don't think I'm preaching. But the truth of the matter is you've not been exposed to another level. I'll tell you, my spiritual daughter, Pastor Tranisha, went with me to a restaurant, and we got lamb chops, and I was like, can I have it butterflied? And I like it medium well. And I'm just, going through this, and she's looking like, I'll have what she's having. And then I asked the people, we were at Brio, and I said, do you have any mint jelly? I said, no, can I have some mint jelly? Because I knew they had it, because the manager said, only a few people asked for it, and we keep it in the manager's office, like literally, like it's a commodity, right? And so I went to the server and I said, and I like some mint jelly. And she's like, we don't, mint jelly, we don't have that. I said, you do. I said, the manager keeps it in his office. And then she went and got it and said, I knew nothing about this. I'd never heard of it. Nobody asked me for it. And so Tranisha's looking at me like, you put jelly on? I said, you don't even understand how the burst of flavor will marry this savory with this sweet mint jelly. You just don't understand. And so I said, just try it. So she tried it and she was like, PM. I'm like, why you be down? Like, I'm not going to steer you wrong. Now she's so grown. I be seeing her on Facebook talking about, I had my lamb chops with my mint jelly. Why? Because exposure creates expansion. You don't know you don't like it till you try it. Open up your mind to receive. Okay. So you got to get exposed to more. Then you got to start educating yourself on more. Okay, so now she knows different stuff and be trying to tell me stuff. Talking about, but did you have this? I'm like, come on now. Why? Because to know something, you want to know more of it. You want to read more about it, and so you have to educate yourself more. Like when I bought the Bentley, I didn't know nothing about. I just always wanted a Bentley. It was a mark of success. When I started reading about Bentley, they said it's for the people who are self-made millionaires. Like, the Phantom and stuff like that is probably for the people who just had money down the line. But the Bentley was the mark of success for the self-made millionaire. So I always like, one day I'm gonna have a Bentley, one day. And I didn't know nothing about it. My husband said, test drive. You don't even know you're gonna like it, And I rode in one before. I'm like, I like it. It just, for me, that was the mark of success. And so when I took my Bentley for a test drive, the dealer is hilarious. You know what I mean? He was like, I didn't know if you were coming back, because I was going for like an hour. Well, I got lost. So I was in Maryland and I got lost and I was going for like an hour. He was like, were you going to come back? And I was like, yeah, I was coming back. He was cracking up. And I said, I love this car. I need this car, and just everything about it. Well, I didn't know the maintenance of the car. So when I met Mr. John, this is my buddy. He works on the Bentley, and Mr. John, because you have to go to a Bentley dealer. You cannot get, Meineke can't work on your Bentley. And so when I met Mr. John, he takes care of Michael Strahan's Bentleys and all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, Mr. John, he said, you have to get a battery tender. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, you have to get a battery tender because you have two engines. And if you don't drive it, because I don't drive the Bentley every day, if you don't drive it, it'll get there. And it's not like a regular car. Like, you can't just call AAA. And so he said, here's what you do. I'm going to install a tender. Listen to this. Install one in the back of the trunk. And when you go, he showed me what to do to plug it up. And I'm like, plug it. I was so confused. I'm like, what if I do it wrong? He's like, you're not going to do it wrong. Here's what you do. And now I'd be like, I got to hook up my tender. Why? Because I know about it now. And so I drive it a couple of days. And if I've been going a couple of weeks now, it's been charging. So I'll unplug it and let's go. But I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have known a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff with the Bentley. It's first of all, it's a handmade car. So that's why it takes so long to build and it costs so much. But I didn't know all the things. He said, you got to lock the engine. So I just got to push it down halfway. And I'm like, this is a lot to learn about a car. He said, if you don't, your car is so smart. Before smart cars came out, he said, these cars are so ergonomically designed to always try to find the key. So even if your key is in the house, it'll start draining this battery because it's always trying to find it, because you didn't, what do you call it? Not lock it. You got to put it to sleep. And I'm just like, this too much. This too much. And I belong to blogs and Facebook groups about it. And you learn something every day about your automobile. To see when you get to this level, it's not a car, it's the automobile. And so I'm saying all of that is because exposure creates expansion. Then you got to educate yourself on more. And then the next thing you got to do is you got to be exposed. You got to educate, and then you're going to experience more. Education is not just for the accumulation of information, but it's to lead to transformation. I know she got bars because I got to go. I got to catch a flight. Let me say it again. Education is not just for the accumulation of information, but it should lead to transformation. And so I don't just know stuff to know stuff. PM know how to do this. I use everything I know. Okay, I learned how to do websites. Don't ask me to do your website. I'm not doing your website. But I had to do one for my church and my family and all that kind of stuff. I learned how to do books. You can ask me for books. I learned how to do all of these things because education is not just for accumulation, but it leads to transformation. And so I everything that I do is to transform not only my lives, but the lives of those who are connected to me. So I hope you got that. You got to be exposed to more. You got to be you first of all realize you're entitled to more, what the word says. Then you got to be exposed to more. Then you got to be educated in more, and then you'll start experiencing more. All week we really went out and people were treating us and all of this stuff. It's not we didn't have money for food, but favor of God just showed up on our lives, and we were in the company of people who have more than us. And see, when you get into the room with people, you hush, somebody's calling, you hush. I don't have that much to say, and until I'm invited in the conversation. And people they respect what I have to say. They are intrigued by what we do, what I do, and all of that. But my point is, every level goes higher and higher. And in 2025, here's what I want you to do, and I'll close with that, is you need to prepare to be a freshman. If you're the smartest person in your group, it's time to graduate. You like it, don't you? listen, it's time to graduate, and it's not that you're leaving those people behind, but you need to get into some other circles that is putting you in a place that you need to know for your success and destiny in life. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm graduating. I'm getting up there. I'm going to secondary education so that I can learn some things and become a master at some things. And that's what I hope you would do. I pray that you were blessed by this broadcast. Now, I'm asking everybody, just whatever seed that you feel led to sow, that you would help us with I believe, God, that the budget is met for our launch on tomorrow. I believe, God, that the budget is met. Will you help us and just sow a seed? It is free for anybody in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware area. If you come into, even if you're abroad and you want to come, it is free. But we want to make sure that the budget is met and there's no hardship on the ministry. And so if everybody can put that up there, we're going to put the ways to give. PM Global One is the Cash App. PM Global One is the Cash App. PayPal is PM@PastorMonica.com. Zelle is Lady M Haskell at AOL.com. You may not be there. You might see the pictures. You might see the video, but know that you were there because your seed made it possible for us to feed people and to just be a blessing to the kingdom. So thank you so much for being a part of this ministry, for helping me do all the things that I can do. I just appreciate you. And I trust that the Lord is overwhelming you. It's the holiday season and God is doing his God thing. So thank you so much. I love you guys so much. And I will talk to you soon. Pray for us. Of course, I'll be on tomorrow and I'll be on with good internet. Okay. I won't be just swirling and freezing and all of that kind of stuff. So I will see you on tomorrow. All right. Peace.